Hey guys, good morning. I'm here this morning with Maciej Woźnicko.
Hello.
Maciej is co-founder and VP of Sales over at PackHelp.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
Thanks, you too. Good to see you here. Earlier this year, Move Closer actually helped yourself and some of the team over at PackHelp to implement some amazing technology tools. The feedback has been really positive since then. So if you could be so kind just to give us a quick overview.
Sure.
And how that worked from the start.
Sure. So basically what we did with Move Closer is we implemented the framework that you actually provide, which is called SingleFlow. Basically, I think I will try to explain the whole idea behind this from the very beginning. So when we started PackHelp, or it was called Zapakuj back then, we were gathering very simple, very basic pieces of data. So we were tracking revenue, we were tracking traffic on the website, we were tracking new users, registrations, stuff like this. Every company would do this. But then with time, of course, we had some more, needs in terms of data. We wanted to know how much do we spend on acquiring certain kinds of customers. We wanted to divide it by country. So when we grew, the need of gathering data, using this data for marketing purposes or for even business planning was super crucial for us. So we started to do this. We found some different tools which were gathering this data, which were serving one purpose. So for example, we had one tool which was doing marketing automation for us. And it was okay for some time, but then there was this huge problem where all of this data were in different places. So basically we couldn't cross this. We couldn't use multiple sources of data for one purpose. So what we did, we asked you guys to help us how to plan this out. We started with creating a map of tools that we use and map of data and the workflow that we use throughout our daily jobs. And as a result, we created I would say workflow, a set of tools where basically we track many different data with many sources. So this is Google AdWords, this is Google Analytics, this is our CRM, this is our intercom and new conversations with customers. This is our website itself, so everything that people are doing on the website is being tracked by some other tools. And all of this data is connected together. So the effect that we have, the effect that we actually managed to accomplish is that we can use various pieces of data in one tool. So for example, just to explain you how we do this on daily basis, we have a tool for marketing automation, which basically sends out emails and we create customer journeys based on events on the website. But what we can do is we can differentiate the message that we are sending out to the customers, not only with data that we have in the marketing automation tool itself, but we can also cross this data with our CRM data. So we know how different segments of our customers operate. We know which customers react to certain kinds of messages that we send out. This is one thing. On the other hand, from the perspective of let's say financial management of the company or the marketing spend that we actually are having, we are able to track every conversion from every channel, and we can bypass all this data through the whole purchasing journey of the customer. So in terms of measuring customer acquisition costs through different channels, in terms of measuring our efforts to lower this customer acquisition cost and increase conversion, for example, we are able to do this with SingleFlow. We are able to cross our campaigns data from Google AdWords, our CRM data, so our sales results, and all this works together like a full complex mechanism.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
No, that's fascinating. I mean, how do you see this kind of as you continue to grow? Do you kind of see you continuing to use these tools, or maybe looking to add new tools? Maybe there's some things which now you're starting to notice you could try to cover with some new tools or something like this. Is there anything which comes to mind?
Sure, that's actually a great question, because I started from from the perspective of the growth of the company, that the situation changes drastically, and I think that every company that is going through this actually knows this. What we managed to do, and I think this is one of the, like, apart from the effects that we have, and the tool itself, the coolest effect that we managed to accomplish is that this is a plug-and-play system. So basically, there's one tool in the middle, which is called Segment. This is our, let's say, data hub, which is transferring data through is gathering data from different systems and transferring to different ones. If we decide at a certain point that, okay, this CRM is no longer good for us because it's, I don't know, it's too simple, we don't have some features that we want to use. What we can do is we can really easily switch to a different tool, because all of this data is also backed up in a let's say, a database, an SQL database. So basically, if we decide to switch to a different CRM, of course, there's going to be some technical aspects of this, so we have to treat it as a quite complex project. But in terms of data consistency, for example, or connecting this new CRM to all the other tools that we use, like in a normal situation, you would have to, you know, probably yourself from different projects, you would have to write integration with the website, integration with your backend system, integration with probably some mailing systems, like a lot of different APIs, a lot of different development projects. And what we can do with SingleFlow is that we can basically have one integration in place, and then we just plug and play and switch to a different CRM. So this is a perfect situation in terms of a growing company, rapidly growing company. This is something that you can do. The other effect that we have is that basically a lot of marketing teams, a lot of sales teams like to test different tools. But the problem with testing is that you usually get this 30-day trial, but it's not connected to anything. So you can basically just click those different features, but they don't show you the full spectrum of what actually can it mean in your business. So if you would like to do a test with the real life data, so the one that you should actually do, you have to, of course, go to your developers, ask them, hey, could you do this small integration? And then after 2 days, you say, no, let's just leave it. Okay, I'm not interested. It wasn't that good. And of course, they're gonna do it 1 or 2 times, but after a couple of times, they will just say, like, no, man, like this is enough. And what this full workflow enables us to do is we can also turn on an integration with a new tool by ourselves. So our sales team and our marketing is able to do it by themselves. They don't have to have a developer on board. And they can use data. So they can see how will it change the stack of tools that they use with real data, connecting it to the systems that we use in our daily routine and are already in place. And this is another thing that is actually very, very cool about all of this.
Yeah. Very nice. No, just one more quick thing. So obviously, since you guys implemented this, do you see kind of how much it's not forcing you but enabling you to change away from these kind of traditional sales methods and marketing methods like cold email and cold calls and things like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is, I think in terms of sales, this is a moment in our lives where the sales techniques that were used for, I don't know, probably not centuries, but for at least, let's say 50 years or so, they are being a little bit outdated, I would say. I mean, the buyer is well informed. He can Google everything basically, so he can verify every word that you're saying. He can compare like several companies together and compare their pricing. So it's really crucial to address the right person with right sales technique, I would say, or sales message. And yeah, this is basically a system which enables us to do this. We first of all, we are able to segment our customers very deeply. So we can really differentiate our customers not only by, let's say, demographic data, but we can even do it by the level of how far they went in the process of purchasing, for example, crossing it with demographic data, with the industry that they are in, the role in the company, the activity on the website what they were doing, and that can all be different segments. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that we can automate a lot of things. So for example, if we're thinking about follow-ups to the customers which are not that responsive, so I would say that they are just scouting. So they're not too deep into the sales process. They don't want to go to have a call with you or waste their time on briefing you properly. They're just scouting for price. So of course they're unresponsive, and we have a lot of customers. If you're dealing with a mass customer, you just have to optimize your efforts. So basically, we are able to automate some of the follow-ups, for example, to people, and not think about them. If this is a group which is super unresponsive, we can just automate this and save our time there. And of course, whenever the customers replies us and gives us more details that we need to set up the full sales process, then it's being undertaken by a sales executive. But we can optimize this way a lot of repetitive tasks which are, let's say, painful and time-consuming for sales teams.
Nice. No, it's very good. It's very fascinating just to see. Obviously, it was nice to help you guys implement, but now to see some of the results and
exactly.
And
yeah.
So, very, very cool. No, I think we'll leave that there. I mean, it's just nice to get a good insight.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you very
guys,
much.
be sure to head over to packhelp.com and also movecloser.co to find out a bit more about what we're talking about. Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Take care.